The Detroit Pistons are the truth.
Isaiah Stewart hates D. Shrew.
He got a technical, not ethical.
For our fifth loss in a row. Did you ever think we would play defense? 19 turnovers. Can we clean the mess? Holland's crazy for pushing Keon. Is he tough or does he have a crush? 15 in a start from our rookie Nique. 19 off the bench for six-man Malik. Cause I tried and tried to look away, but these trade rumors ain't going away. Yeah, 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 yeah. Going away. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Welcome back to the Kang Gang Pod. This is episode 107.
Woo!
We're well past the 100 mark. The Kings, however, can't even pass the 12-win mark right now.
Yeah.
We have now lost 5 in a row to the Detroit Pistons. And man, this game, Detroit, they are here and they are ready to knock on the door in a wide open Eastern Conference. RT, how was today's game for you?
It was just a bludgeoning. They just came out. We actually had a good first quarter. It was tied 35-35. The offense was clicking, but then in that second quarter, they dropped 43 points in our head. And ever since then, Detroit had control of the entire game in that second half. Everybody was just hitting shots. Duncan Robinson looked like he's going to win a three-point contest against us. That's how good it was. Tobias Harris was hitting a bunch of threes against us. This was just a game where we just were outplayed. We were outshooted by. It was outmaneuvered. It was just ugly. I mean, the Detroit Pistons, for God's sake, they had 16 threes today. They all had 31 attempts. Oh boy,
That's insanely efficient.
Efficient.
You mentioned Tobias Harris. That guy had like the friendliest roll of all time tonight.
It was 4 for 6, dude.
I've never seen a guy like shoot a three-pointer and then it hit every side of the rim before going in multiple times in a game. And that's what he did tonight. That's how I knew. I'm like, God, dude, they should all be in the three-point contest after today's game.
Well, I mean, and then there was another play in that second quarter where Russ missed his assignment on Tobias Harris, and Tobias Harris had the most easiest wide open three look that you could ever have in an NBA game, and it felt like nobody was trying to like at least cover the ball or try to alter it. It was just ugly. Jenkins, shout out UOP legend right there. He had 11 points off the bench. Ron Holland. I mean, Cade Cunningham.
No, we don't like Ron Holland. Don't say his name. No, we don't like Ron Holland.
Well, but we do like Jenkins, though. We do like Jenkins.
We'll put respect on Jenkins, but Ron Holland, he could get traded.
Yes. He's trying to come here. I don't know.
Hey, if he's here, we could find a way to like him again. But hey, you can't be pushing Keon like that. That's crazy. Fix your temper.
Yeah.
You're not Draymond. You don't need to do that.
No.
You don't need to do that, Ron Holland.
Leave that to Isaiah Stewart.
Why are you trying to get ejected in the end of a game where you're up 20? There's no point for that.
Leave it to Isaiah Stewart. Leave the bad boy Pistons to Isaiah Stewart. Like, at least he's like a person that just always talks smack. Like Ron Holland, like
he thinks he's Bill Laimbeer. You're not Bill Laimbeer.
Get in line, Ron Holland. Get in line, dude. Get in line.
Isaiah Stewart is your guys' Dylan Brooks. We don't need two.
You don't need two of them.
We don't need two. But you were right. That first quarter had there's a lot of good things to see in that first quarter, and shouts out to the rookie that we have talked about at least on this podcast, but he is well deserving to get talked about a lot tonight because Nique Clifford, he was in the starting lineup for Zach LaVine tonight. We had a starting lineup of Russell Westbrook, Nique Clifford, Domantas Sabonis, Precious Achiuwa, and DeRozan. So we had I think that was the start. That was like a lineup that we had. Oh no, that was when Cardwell was in there.
Yeah,
so we had a different lineup with Zach LaVine not playing today because of lower back pain. So Nique Clifford over Malik, over Keon, getting the start. So that was awesome to see. Nique Clifford looked very aggressive. This is what we were saying. Like once he is more of a piece in the offensive structure, then he could actually show what he could do. And he was hitting threes. He had a chase down block. I mean, I think he had 7 points.
He had,
first quarter?
I think 7 points in that first quarter. But I loved his aggression. He had the highest field goal attempts out of the entire team tonight.
Yeah,
6 for 13.
You don't see that. You don't see that from a rookie.
I love it though. I love it.
Thank God we finally got one of these games.
Yeah,
Didn't result in a win, obviously, but it wasn't about that tonight. It was about letting the young guys run, and we got a lot of that.
We did. And he hit 2 for 4 from 3. He looked good from just getting into spots. He was aggressive. He had this one move where he was just looked like he was controlled. He had a couple of great mid-range looks today too, especially in that first quarter, like you talked about, where he was just coming off of screens and just pulling up from mid-range. And even if they were not going in, you can tell the confidence was there. So big fan of Nique Clifford's game, and hopefully I want to see more of these games come through for him, because this is a good opportunity with a lot of crazy speculations that are happening. This is 5 games before the trade deadline. I don't know if this is going to be something that we see, but if we get Nique Clifford where he is unleashed and unlocked the second half, this is a great piece that a future young Kings team can really, really just have as a piece for their team.
He would be a great weapon. He would be a great weapon because, like we've said in the previous pod, when he was more of a, like when his usage rate was through the roof in the summer league, we saw these great performances. We haven't really seen like steady minutes from him tonight. How many minutes did he?
He had 33. He had the highest minutes.
Boom.
Yeah.
In the previous game, it was 24. The game before that, 21, and now 33. So we're seeing a trend, and then with higher minutes, we're getting better results. So that's a huge plus and a big indicator that I think we're kind of, starting to turn that page where, like RT said, we're 5 days away from the deadline. Maybe we're going to see Nique Clifford get a lot more minutes, and then when he plays more, he does better. When he's more involved in the offense, he does better. The first 43 games of the season, he was never really a big option when he was on the floor. He was always the 4th option or the 5th option potentially, depending on the lineup that he was in. But today, without Zach LaVine, that definitely brought up his usage. So this was his 4th start in an NBA for his rookie season, his 4th one, and this was by far his best start. So obviously 6 for 13. Hovering around.
That's around 50%, 45,
yeah. Whatever you want to call it. But I would like to see that many attempts from him a lot more going forward towards the end of the season. And I love when we get that lineup at the end of games when we're getting blown out, where we get to just focus on the rookies and the young guys. And we even got to see some Devin Carter minutes tonight.
A little bit,
We'll talk about Devin at the end, because are we sure we want to get rid of him? I don't know yet. We don't know much about him yet, But who else stood out to you today besides Nique Clifford?
I was really impressed. I'll talk about our other rookie, Dylan Cardwell. I was really impressed for him, not just from the rebounding standpoint, from the assist standpoint.
Dude, his vision, I think he passes the ball a little bit too much, but today it was finding the right guy. He found Nique Clifford open for a 3. He had 5 assists tonight, but even Katie and Kyle were talking about it on the broadcast. They're like, you'd like to see Dylan kind of look to score a little bit more, or get more confidence when he catches the ball at the elbow to kind of maybe try and make a move towards the basket. He's normally right when he gets the ball, he's looking for the next guy, which is totally fine. But in today's game, it worked out perfectly.
Yeah, there was a great play in that 4th quarter where it was a backdoor cut to Malik Monk. He had a very nice catch and bounced. It almost kind of looked like a no look for him, but it was just a nice little bounce pass. Yes. And it was just a great display of vision from Dylan Cardwell, and that's a great sign, because I know that you mentioned earlier that he could be a lot more aggressive, but when you're getting your guys open like Nique Clifford and Malik Monk and Dennis Schroeder off occasions, the bench had a good game in terms of assists. They had 14 assists from off their bench. So when you get that and you get the ball movement going, that's why I really liked a lot of what happened in that first half. Was they moved the ball a lot. They were very consistent, and that's just great things from when you get your guys to move the ball. I thought offensively 116 is pretty solid, but defensively 139, that's how you lose a game. But just going back to the offense, I thought the offense was very solid today in terms of just getting guys open. We had 32 assists, which was pretty solid. We won the assist battle. You take that all day long. So yeah, that positive is something that I will always take for sure. Kind of going back to the starters though, Sabonis had a really good game. His first game back as a starter, 12 points, 6 for 7 from the field, 7 rebounds, 8 assists.
That's a classic
phenomenal
Sabonis stat line. Flirting with that triple-double like he always does. It's coming at a good time that he's playing like this with the deadline 5 games away. So, teams are definitely interested in him. But having him on the floor with Dylan Cardwell, which we saw a lot in the previous game, we didn't see too much of it, but then Doug finally went to it later in the game. But when Sabonis could really operate at the 4, man, like it's really great. But yeah, very efficient tonight from Sabonis. He's this is game 5 back, right?
Yeah, game 5.
Yeah, so he's finally getting his groove back. This is 2 games in a row, flirting with that triple double. Very efficient from down low and getting everyone involved and rebounding like he's been doing for every year that he's been in the league. So,
well, I think the reason why they did kind of don't do the double big for this instance was because Jalen Duren is such a rebounding machine. He's such a double threat, and he's most likely going to be an all-star the way that he's been playing this year. So you kind of have to match size for size at this point. And
the Kings don't make the other team match us. We always match whatever they're throwing out at us. But I guess I could see why, but it is what it is. We're fine with it. We're fine with it.
We have they're going their way. We're going our way.
They're going up. We're going down.
We're
going down, and that's speaking of going down. I think it was very, very great to see that Doug Christie decided not to throw the veterans back in at the end of the game. Like he just let the rookies roll basically the whole fourth quarter. Russell Westbrook didn't get much minutes in that second half. Neither did Sabonis. A lot of those guys, or DeRozan, a lot of our main guys that end games were sitting on the bench, chilling. It was great to see that. Like we got a Devin Carter check-in at the 6-minute mark today in the fourth quarter. Like that's great for him. I'm very curious where we see Devin's future in the next couple weeks, but this guy's just been collecting, seeding.
Just DMPs. I don't know. I don't want to stop you here, but this is just a question I just have, not for me and just for me and for you and for everybody that's listening. Like, is Devin Carter that bad of a player where he's just not involved in their rotation whatsoever, where you can't really send him down to the G League? Because it's like, why would you? Because Jerry McCain got sent down to the G League. Zachary Richache just got sent down to the G League. Yeah, that happened. Yeah. So it's so interesting because it's like, do we want to like have him get reps while he's in the G League because he's just there on the bench? But is it just enough where he's just kind of there on the team? This is just puzzling to me. Is it something where if Devin Carter is getting minutes, because we've seen games last year where there were glimpses where he had great games coming off the bench where he was getting valuable minutes, and now it just feels like it completely disappears. Is it just because of the way the roster is created, where some guy has to be left out? Is it just not being there in terms of injury, where he's been so in and out of being on the team with injuries?
He's been healthy this year.
But he's been healthy, but it's like, is it just a learning curve for him? There's a lot of factors that are kind of working against Devin Carter right now.
I think Devin Carter is not as bad as the stats show. Obviously, if you look up his averages on the season, they're like, he's probably not even averaging a point, but it's because he can't even get 5 minutes a night. We're not even giving him the opportunity to even display what he could do. I think what we saw from him in the summer league, he was playing very good. Outside of that first game, obviously, we'll never forget that. But outside of that, he turned it around and he did pretty well. I think the answer is the roster construction. We have too many guards. Like, there's no way he's going to get minutes. You're not going to not play Russ or Dennis to play Devin Carter. I don't think we paid Dennis Schroeder to $13 million a year to not give Devin Carter some run. So I think right now, maybe I could see where we could stash him and then utilize him more in the new era of this Kings team once we turn that page. But I don't know. Maybe
if we turn that page, because you got to remember, like, there also is an opportunity where the Kings don't make, like we talked about in the last episode of the pod, where the Kings don't make any moves because of salary reasons. And that's like another reason why I feel like that could be a potential thing. But going back to Devin Carter, I agree with you. It is definitely a roster construction thing. You don't pay Russell Westbrook to be on your team, to be this veteran starter, to make your team better. You're not paying Dennis Schroeder $13 million just to say goodbye to him like a year later, you know?
And you have all the secondary ball handlers like Malik. Nique Clifford is a secondary ball handler. Keon Ellis. I mean, the list goes on. So, like, Devin Carter is just so far beneath them. So there's no way he's going to get the chance and the opportunity. So I think we're handling the situation not the greatest. And I don't think it's obviously not Devin Carter's fault. It's very, very hard to get a rhythm. Like tonight, like he probably wasn't thinking he was going to play tonight.
No.
And then, like, you know, I think he only had one drive to the basket, which didn't result in anything exciting. But yeah, I think we're just not giving him a fair chance. And he was your 13th pick. You might, like, I feel like you have to do the due diligence and like see it through with him just to see what it is. You know, there's no risk to having him on the roster.
Yeah.
There's not one risk. Like, he's one of the lower paid players, you know? So I don't know. I think when you have that many veteran big name guards on the team, Devin Carter, when he saw those guys get signed to the team in the offseason, he's like, oh, great. Yeah, I'm not playing. I'm not playing.
Yeah, I would not blame him.
But yeah, I mean, like, if he's just going to sit there on the bench, he might as well be playing in Stockton. Why not? I'm not too sure. But who knows? Everything could change in a couple days, or nothing could change, because I'm hearing reports that this might be this could be potentially the worst trade deadline that we've had in a long time, where no one gets moved. Because now with that Giannis injury, now Milwaukee might not need to, you know, make trades to better the roster now. And then with all of the big contracts and with Apron's work and the way the money works and the CBAs, that's just another, hindrance in making trades happen. It makes it way more difficult. Most trades now just have to be, salary dumps and like something that makes the matching money. So we could sit here next week with nothing exciting to talk about, because
and nobody moved either, you know,
or just around the league, like a lot of the big names that we've been hearing, they might all stay put. But the NBA is known for very, very big surprises, and although it may look like we're trending towards a very boring deadline, I'm hoping something does happen, and I'm hoping that the Kings are having that fire sale that we once heard that they were going to do. So, yeah, moving on to let's just circle back to the game. Obviously, we talked about Dylan Cardwell. We talked about Nique Clifford, Sabonis. I think we had to talk about Malik Monk.
Yeah, great game from him.
The resurgence of Malik Monk. I hope he's winning the heart over of Scott Perry, because this guy is the heartbeat of the city. He's so great off the bench. I mean, he's been playing so good in his past 5 games. We got to keep the man.
Yeah,
and tonight, like, he was.
You have to.
He was one of the most. He
was efficient. Yeah,
the highest score of the game.
Most efficient. Yeah, I mean, he had 19 points off 7-11 for shooting. Incredibly efficient, 3 for 5. And I know he had a little bit of an ankle injury. It looked like he got injured in that first half, but he came back in that second half and finished the game off. So that's incredible things that you want to see. So,
and he still was the leading scorer.
Yeah,
missing all that time with the locker room issue.
Exactly. Yeah. And hopefully that injury isn't anything too serious. It's probably just something that he just needs to ice up for the next game and all that stuff too. So you're kind of hoping it's nothing too crazy when you play New York on Tuesday, but hopefully, that's kind of the one thing that would just be the thing for him, is just rest up the whatever injury he had. It was a limping, probably ankle or something, but he came back and just
looked fine.
Yeah,
he
looked good.
He looked fine. He had
looked
that
great.
Did you see that dunk?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. That looked pretty good for some of that.
Looked like
tweaked his ankle.
Fine
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah, fine to me too.
I'll take it. Totally fine. But yeah, I think Malik Monk had a great game. I think he's well deserving of being a part of this this roster, and I think even with a young team, Malik Monk could be very, very, very beneficial to their growth and just providing an insane spark off the bench. So I really hope we decide to keep Malik Monk. I know that his trade value is kind of up and down, but I think the rumors are that he's staying put. So
I'll be happy with that if that's the case.
I
will be so happy if that's the case.
I think that's a win if we keep Malik, but move someone else. But yeah, I don't know. My confidence level and moves being made is getting by the day. It's getting thinner and thinner. So
I
don't know where you stand, but that's just how I'm feeling.
I feel the same way too. It's not looking as good with the way that the next 10 days are with the, like you mentioned, right? With all these rumors that are happening, it's getting a little bit scarier and scarier and scarier. And I'm like at a point where I'm just like, do I really think that this team is going to make any big time moves? Is this team going to really, really do what I expect them to do, is trade anybody for future assets? And the answer is not really, because the apron, like you mentioned, there's a lot of things that are going to make it really, really tough for them. So
yeah, it's just like like those new rules are just like, it's like a big roadblock. It makes it so difficult to make trades, and that's why you've seen that stat that keeps getting floated around online, where in the past couple seasons there's been 24, 25 trades to this point, and so far this year it's only been one, because it's making it so difficult. I know the players, they don't even like the CBA. They think it's stupid. They're like, for example, like the Oklahoma City Thunder, they drafted their team basically outside of Shea, and like they've done it the right way, so they're paying their players what they deserve. But once those contracts are coming to an end, they're going to be very hard to keep or to move, or but that shouldn't be the case, So yeah, I don't know. NBA is in an interesting place. They keep trying to, they put them in place because they're trying to avoid the super teams. But then when there's a team that does it the right way, then they're like,
they become a super team.
Then they get they have the negative effect by that. And then there's teams like us, where we have a bunch of big contracts, and like moving them is almost impossible. So if you obtain those contracts going forward, now it's like we have to be 1,000% sure we want to ride this whole contract out with these guys. So, but yeah, the biggest trade rumor that seems like it has the most validity to it is Sabonis right now.
Yeah, and it makes sense
with Toronto. I know we talked about it yesterday, but the more I think about it, I feel like Toronto's in a position that they should. I mean, the East right now
is so wide open.
Every team in the East should be thinking that like they should be the teams that are making the moves, or like the more.
They could be the more aggressive players.
The more aggressive, bigger moves for sure. And I think Detroit, even though they're sitting at the top comfortably right now, I think in a playoff series it's different. I think they need to tighten up a little bit.
They could definitely like add a guy that could. I mean, we're not mentioning a guy named Keon Ellis on this podcast, but
Keon Ellis doesn't want to go to Detroit.
Doesn't want to go to Detroit after today.
Hey,
no.
All I know is Ron Holland has a crush on Keon Ellis, and Ron Holland wants to be Keon Ellis.
Yeah,
he's
that's
like
a fact.
He's the wannabe Keon Ellis.
That's 1,000%
He wants to be the 3-and-D defender.
Yes.
And guess what, Ron Holland? Chain snatched. Keon's bend that.
Welcome to Ellis Island, buddy. But I mean, I like going back to this whole spiel, right? Is there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to be aggressive in the East. I would not be surprised. And I even think like the West could be, with the way that the West is so tight with between that 3rd and 7th seed, there's teams that are jockeying for playoff spots. They don't want to be in the play-in. So I would be very interested to see if any of the teams in the West that are playoff teams really make that extra push to get guys. So it's not just players from the West. It's also it's not teams from the East, but also teams from the West too. So
no, for sure.
I would be very, very interested to see if this trade deadline kind of does have like a big deal. If anything, there could be some 3-team trades. I would not be I would not be surprised if there was 3-team trades.
Majority of the big moves have to include a lot of teams to make the money work, and throwing in random cash considerations and draft compensation just to make a big player move work. And like we were seeing, like even like with Kevin Durant, I think there was like 8 teams involved to make that trade go through.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's why these trades just don't happen so frequently. It takes a lot of time. So that's why I'm thinking if they're going to happen, it's probably going to be on deadline day.
Yeah, I mean, the Luka trade was the Utah Jazz had to involve some guys too,
Exactly.
So
and then even the only one where we haven't seen it was like that Trae Young trade. Like that was just a 2-for-1, just get the money to match and then move on. But I'm very curious to see if this silence that we're hearing right now, there could be something louder going on in the background.
Maybe.
That's what I'm hoping. I hope these GMs are just in a group chat right now, just floating around photos of which players they want to get moved. And I hope they're like liking or thumbsing up the DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine photos. Like, yeah. We'll talk outside of this group chat.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. But you're not really hearing. I mean, obviously we heard LaVine to the Bucks, but I feel like that's probably out the window now because
of Giannis.
There's no point for them to. I mean, now this season's basically a wash for them, unless while he's out, Bucks go on a crazy run. But I don't really see that happening. So I don't know if the Kings are going to be involved in too many trades. But we just have to just keep hoping and praying.
You never know, right? You never know in this league, and I think that this
could be doomsday or two.
Yeah,
you have to prepare for it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to prepare for it at this point. So I'm just going into the assumption that we are probably going to keep most of this team in the trade deadline. I'd be very shocked if this does happen where we do move 2 guys like Sabonis, or if we move DeRozan. So if we move or Levine, if we move 2 out of the 3, then that's a great deal. That's a great deadline for us. But I just don't think it's going to most likely happen just based off everything that's happening around the league. Maybe the Sabonis deal is probably the only one that's the big deal, and maybe Keon. But outside of that, it's going to be really tough to move Levine. It's going to be really tough to move DeRozan now, especially with just a lot of these teams that how many of them are going to really, really want DeRozan besides Golden State, besides maybe Miami, besides, I don't think Toronto would want a reunion with DeMar, after all the stuff that they should, but I don't think it's going to happen because
imagine it's Sabonis and what if I know
I think they would be giving up way too much.
Majiri doesn't run the team anymore, right?
No.
So they're probably talking like, okay, we want Sabonis, but what if you could throw DeMar in there too? Then they would have to throw in like Jakob Poeltl, RJ Barrett quickly. It might have to be like a 3 for 2. Maybe.
But I don't think they're going to give up quickly though.
I know he's been balling out.
He's so good.
Yeah,
he's so good for him.
There's no need to.
No need to do it.
Yeah, I mean we're kind of at a loss. We're kind of in limbo right now as a fan base. We were once hearing a bunch of stuff. We still hear about the Keon interest, but like we think that Keon's probably attached to a bigger deal. But is that bigger deal even out there now? Are we just going to let Keon walk in free agency? That would be doomsday for sure. I mean, that's
major doomsday. I mean, you got to get something.
Unless we go into the offseason and then we move all of the big contracts by then, so then we have a comfortable amount of money to sign Keon and some other players. But I don't even think no one's talking about the 2026 free agency like there's any big names. If you want to pull up
it's going to be hard. I mean, at that point, like
I just know the 2027 free agents are big.
That's the big one. That's when
Ant Edwards and Giannis and all those guys.
Ant hasn't done an extension, or is it?
I thought Ant was 27.
Is he? I don't know. I have to really look. But I'll look at both. But yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting to see how the free agency works a little bit. I mean, there's not really like a whole lot.
Like Keon's going to be one of the most exciting players in the free agency. And that means that
LeBron, but he just signed like a deal.
Dude, LeBron's done. He didn't sign it. LeBron he needs to leave LA.
Get him out of there, man.
Just do one more season. Do you hear how he's like
the longest? Yeah,
how he's talking about like Jeannie Buss doesn't like me. Are you seeing this?
Yeah, I get it. This is the worst thing that's happened to LeBron's career is being on the Lakers.
And then Jeannie Buss was saying that LeBron was pushing for the Westbrook signing, and then he shied away.
God.
Dude, LeBron.
The worst place you can go to. I mean, if it wasn't for LeBron being on the Lakers would be in the lottery. They would probably be on a bigger playoff drought than us right now. Like, if you think about it, because the Lakers.
Yeah, because if AD is your only star.
Yeah, good luck. But they wouldn't even get AD if it wasn't for LeBron. Like
he should have. Yeah.
That's the whole period. That's the whole.
Why he went to LA in the first place was to make Space Jam 2.
Yeah, and just
that movie flopped.
Yeah. Stinker. Garbage.
Yeah, but who are the free agents in 2026?
Yeah, I mean, there's like players with player options like Zach LaVine, Trae Young, James Harden. Those guys are going to take player options. Andrew Wiggins, sure. Chris Middleton. I mean, Porzingis is probably the biggest one for me. He's only 30 years old, so he might be an unrestricted free agent.
That guy just never played.
Anthony Simons, John Collins, Tobias Harris. Gambling, Terry Rozier.
See, there's just a lot of I just hear a lot of
Norman Powell,
laundry detergent.
Yeah, Nikola Vucevic, Yusuf Nurkic, Rui Hachimura, Colin Sexton. Like these are not interesting names. Mitchell Robinson,
laundry detergent.
Yeah, there's just a lot of it right now.
Washed.
Yeah, it's just a weird time. And
so Keon Ellis, out of all of those names, is like one of the most exciting, and you don't have to pay a crazy amount. So.
Yeah, it's just a lot of
We just
guys.
can't let that happen. We can't let that happen.
There's as well as our other co-host Johnny likes to say, there's a bunch of Jags on this free agency. So
That's true. That's
yeah,
actually true.
there's a lot of Jags. There's a lot of Jags in this free agency. So shout out to our
Go
boy
to
Johnny.
2027. Go to 2027.
We're gonna go to 2027. Then this is where it gets crazy. So Steph is an unrestricted free agent. Giannis, Anthony Davis, Jokic, Towns, Paul George, Donovan Mitchell, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard. These are just
bottom out next year. This year,
Brandon
next
Ingram,
year.
Kyrie Irving, Rudy Gobert, Michael Jordan, Jalen Green.
Michael Jordan.
No, Michael Porter Jr.
Michael Jordan's back.
No. I was testing to see if you were listening, but Michael Porter Jr., Jalen Green, Drew Holiday, Julius Randle, Jordan Poole, Jeremy Grant.
Hey,
yeah, this is
you said enough stars.
Yeah, I said enough
to fulfill Orion's belt right there.
Yeah, I did.
2027 that's when the NBA is going to get really, really fun again. And I could see one of those big names wanting to come to Sacktown.
Yeah, I think so too.
I could see
it. You know, like give it a shot. Let's see if it happens.
Are you telling me Rudy Gobert is going to be a Sacramento King?
My God, dude. No. I immediately no.
Gobert wants to come to Sac. He wants to pair up with his French buddy Maxime. Is that what you're telling me, RT?
No, dude. No.
Yeah, but 2027 free agency is wild. So you got to move all of your big contracts now so you have tons of cap space then. That's obviously what all these teams are waiting for. That's why they had LeBron, and when it all makes sense.
Yeah.
If the Los Angeles Lakers land a massive name in free agency at that time to pair up with Luka once LeBron's done.
Sick.
Oh, dude,
I'll
my
be
stomach's
sick.
going to be hurting.
I will be sick if that happens.
Are there anyone out of those players you listen in 2027 that could fit the Kings timeline?
No.
They're...
Honestly, no.
What about like a Julius?
Jalen Green, but like I don't. He's probably gonna keep his player option.
We don't want Julius.
No, we don't want Julius. There's none. I'm sorry, but like there's not a lot of guys. Maybe Tyler Hero, but that's a reach. I mean,
we can't get someone. Where
you can't get a scrub.
Number one.
Yeah,
we can't have a number one come here with what we're trying to do.
Man, there's not a lot. There's not a lot of guys. Keldon Johnson, but like even that, maybe Lou Dort, but I don't even know if I want Lou Dort at that point because I don't know if Lou Dort wants to be in Sacramento. There's just a lot of guys, there's
a lot of good guys though.
There are, I mean, there's a lot of top heavy guys.
Better than 2026, I'll tell you that.
No, it's way better. I completely agree. But, but at that point, like how many of those 2027 guys are going to take extensions the season before and not make themselves free agents?
Yeah. If a team extends AD, oh my God, what are you doing?
Yeah, let him go. Just abolish your franchise.
When I keep hearing the Anthony Davis is looking to sign a hefty deal, I'm like, dude, who would give him that?
It's crazy that he's making $60
He's had
million.
over 130 injuries since being in the NBA. Did you hear that number?
Yeah, 130.
130 injuries, Ryan Clark.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. He's probably might retire before he gets his big bag. Dude. Where he has to end his career.
You know the Kings are in a tough spot when we end up talking about Anthony Davis. But who do we play next, RT?
We play the New York Knicks.
In New York at the Garden Sunday. No, sorry.
No, Tuesday.
Today's Sunday. Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Fully healthy New York team. They played today, right?
Did they play today?
I think so.
No, they played.
Oh, no, that was yesterday.
No, they played. No, they played yesterday. Yeah, they beat the Sixers.
That was what it was. That was a
good game.
Wild game.
Good game.
Oh my gosh, yeah, but they're coming off a win against the Philadelphia 76ers. Obviously, we got beat down by us, and then we're going into the Garden. That's going to be a tough game. But if we could do what we did to Karl Anthony Towns, I think we'll be fine. Obviously, Jalen Brunson missed a majority of the game when we played them, so he's probably going to go off for 40. Ellis Island, Jalen, get ready for Ellis Island, buddy.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one.
If you don't play Keon Ellis, Doug Christie, come on,
figure it out.
Like
it's gonna be depending on if Zach LaVine is back on Tuesday too. So we'll see.
His back still might be sore, but Keon Ellis obviously has that viral clip of when he guarded Brunson a year ago when he looked away for a second and then Brunson was just gone with the wind.
Saw barbecue chicken.
So Keon remembers, and Keon wants to get the get back. Let that guy unchain him.
Unchain him. Let's go. Let him cook.
Set him free.
Let him cook.
Yeah, we would love to see a Keon masterclass in the Garden before or if Scott Perry decides to move him.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for this Tuesday matchup. It's always fun going up against a big team like New York. So, any predictions?
I think the big thing that we also got to talk about, and the reason why we won that game in the first place, is because of our rebounding. So,
yes, sir.
I would love to see that same effort and same result where in that same game plan, whereas multiple guys crash for the boards. You gotta hope that Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby and stink it up, because
like they did in the
they stink it up. So you hope they stink it up, and then they just keep breaking shots, and that's the whole plan. Is if you get rebounds, get one and done, you get aggressive at the line. That's the other thing too I want to see this Kings team do, is be aggressive at the free throw line, because that's how we won that game as well. So just I want it to be good and competitive. Obviously, you were looking at it from a different landscape, but if some of us are keeping this 2-4 possible outcome in the road trip, this could be the game that you could do it. So we'll see.
Because New York, they have trouble closing games.
Mm-hmm.
If they're not up by beyond double digits, they've had so many close games. And like they were up comfortably with like 50 seconds left in the game against the 76ers, and they almost blew it.
Yeah.
Brunson, what's going on with you at the free throw line, buddy?
I don't know. Get
ready to learn free throw, buddy.
Yeah, get ready to learn that.
So, yeah, obviously we're hoping for a competitive game against New York, but there's a world where we could lose 6 in a row.
Ooh.
That is a very real possibility. You know, Mike Brown was not happy.
Could be our third time doing it too.
Or we could sweep them. We could sweep the Knicks.
That could be a possibility.
We'll see. Let us know what you think is going to happen, or if you're just rooting for the tank to live on. Right now, the Pelicans are playing. Are playing the Spurs, and it is a close game.
No, they're up. The Pelicans are up by double digits when I last checked. So, yeah, they're up 12 with about 10:58 left in the fourth quarter. So,
wow.
Barring a fourth quarter miracle, we would be half game away from snatching back that 15 seed. We might get the 15 seed chain back, boys.
The chain might come back to back where it belongs.
Back where it belongs, baby.
The 15th seed belongs in Sacramento. All right. Well, I think that's all we have for you tonight.
Well,
we're going to get this pod out tonight. So if you want to listen to two buddies talk about the Kings after a 5th game in a row loss, game 47.
Yeah, game 40. Game 47. Yeah,
game 47. If you are listening to a Kings podcast in the 47th game of the season and it's a 5th loss in a row, you are different, and we love you for that.
Well, you want to take off the sweatshirt and tell them what they really, really are?
Am I wearing that today?
You are.
Am I?
You are. Check. I saw you wearing it earlier. You are. Shout out Deuce and Mo, a basketball sicko. Shout out to Deuce and Mo.
Shout out the GOATs.
Legends in the game.
That's all we have for you on this beautiful Sunday. We're going to watch the end of the Pelicans game. We're going to watch that end of the football game as well.
Yeah, Seahawks. Ooh, they're looking good right now.
Hey, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see you on the next one.
See you on the next one.